Hey, what's going on, everybody? Anonymous Dysco here. So, I've got a few drinks in me, and I felt like kind of rambling on about a subject, a game series that I love a lot, and that is the Hitman series. Also, kind of just in anticipation of Hitman 3 coming out, I thought this would be a good time to release a video just kind of talking about my thoughts and feelings on the series as a whole. Really, long story short, I love this series. Hitman, if it wasn't maybe for like Fallout, this would probably be my favorite game series of all time. So let's rewind the clock a little bit here and to when Silent Assassin came out. I don't know the year, and I'm not going to be bothered to look it up. Also, I didn't play it right when it came out. I was playing Hitman 2, though, Silent Assassin, on the computer with my brother. I always thought it was weird it was Hitman 2, Silent Assassin. I never even heard, and still to this day, really don't know a whole lot about Hitman 1, whatever that was. I think it's like Agent 47 or something. Does it even exist? That's the thing. I know I'm making this video. I should do my research, but like I said, I'm just rambling. But I don't know. Does Hitman 1 even exist? I don't know. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Hitman 2, Silent Assassin. Played this game on the computer with my bro, and I thought it was the fucking coolest mission. The one that really stood out when I get nostalgic for this mission, the one that I think about a lot is the Kirov Park meeting. I just thought this one was really cool because there's some really cool ways that you can approach this mission. You can go and place the bombs on people's cars, or you can use the sniper rifle to actually take these targets out. I like any mission in Hitman that's got a sniper rifle or some cool sniper action. I really enjoy. Just something, I love sniper rifle shit. And when I was recently replaying these games, I realized that there's actually another vantage point kind of farther off in the map that you can shoot these guys as well. It's a much more difficult shot. I think you may even need one of like the more upgraded sniper rifles to even make it. But if you're able to do it that way, there's like no guards around, and so you can just slip in and out very easily. I don't know if that doing it that way is necessarily going to get you the Silent Assassin award, but it was a very cool way to approach this mission. But there are like a ton of fucking cool missions in Hitman 2. Just off the top of my head, Anathema, the Jacuzzi Job, Basement Killing. These are some of the real standout ones for me. The ones that just like unique locations, unique characters, bunch of different ways to go about taking out your target. And I'm sure probably to this day, as much as I played Silent Assassin or any of those games, there's still a bunch of ways I still don't even know about. So I'm not 100% sure. I might just be making this up. This might be kind of a Mandela effect or some shit. But I think there was a tagline for Hitman 2, and it was something along the lines of, like, how would you like to go to interesting places, meet interesting people, and kill them? And already I was like, that's a badass tagline. But also, I just thought, that was the heart of the Hitman series. That's all it needed to be. Interesting locations, interesting characters, and killing them in creative, cool ways. So that kind of brings me to my actual favorite in the series is the next installment, Hitman 3 Contracts. So the thing is with number 2 is it does follow a story. It is pretty linear. Essentially, the story with 2 is 47's retired. He works at a church, I think somewhere in like Italy, and the priest that he works for, also his friend, gets kidnapped, and this brings about him having to kind of come out of retirement. It's that kind of classic coming out of retirement, the best in the business is back in the business kind of shit, like John Wick or whatever. Anyways, it's a cool story, but like I was saying earlier, I think the more simple the stories can be to the Hitman series, the better it gets. And that was the beauty of Contracts to me. With Contracts, it's really just 47 reminiscing about the highlights in his career. So it was a great way of just putting 47 in these locations, and they didn't really need to follow this story. It was just like, okay, what can we think of? Where would a cool place for 47 to kill this target be? And that's exactly what it was. The game starts off and he's been shot, and he walks into this hotel room. He's dying. He's waiting on a doctor to show up, and then little things that are happening around him kind of remind him about what's going on. So like he'll hear a noise or he'll see a picture, and that will take him to the whatever the next mission is. So fucking Contracts is my favorite. I think every mission in Contracts is a gem, but there's always been one that was really stood out to me, and the one I wanted to kind of highlight, and that's the Meat King's Party. So this mission is probably my favorite, or at least a top 3 favorite missions in the entire series of Hitman as a whole. Meat King's Party is definitely one of the most unique, interesting missions that they ever came up with, in my opinion. Now, Hitman Contracts is a very dark game. It's probably the darkest of the whole series, and Meat King's Party really sets that tone. So essentially, the idea to this mission is that this girl's father hires 47 because he suspects that this guy, Campbell Sturrock, the Meat King, this Scotsman, has abducted her and possibly even killed her. So all this shit was going to go to court, but Sturrock's lawyer, Andre Puskas, hopefully I'm saying that right, has got the case thrown out. So now nothing's happening, and this father's left with his girl being abducted. So he hires 47, the best in the business, to go kill these 2 guys and try to retrieve the daughter, and if she is dead, then bring back evidence of her death. So already very dark premise, but then you start to get into Meat King's Party and see what the fucking deal is, and it is fucked up. So really, it is a party. It's this kind of BDSM orgy party in a slaughterhouse. There's dead fucking cows everywhere, and everyone's in their leather gear. Big electro music going on, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? These are some sick fucks here. So you go around, you explore, and then eventually you find Campbell Sturrock, and he is probably the most unique target in the Hitman series for me. He always really stuck out because if you played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but he's this big, fat motherfucker, and he just sits on a bed. He can't even move out of the bed. He's so big. He has women coming in. He has food being delivered all the time. So that was actually one cool way to go about taking him out. Was he keeps getting this rotisserie chicken ordered every so often. So obviously you can go and poison the chicken. Very easy way to do it. Or if you want to be a little more kind of badass, you can actually you can put a gun into the chicken, and then when you go up to deliver it to him, the guys frisk you. They can't find it because the gun's in the chicken. You go to bring it to him, and you just pull it out and fucking pop him right in the head. Andre Puskas is a pretty simple target to take out. He's just kind of chilling in this opium den. So really, it's just a matter of getting access into the opium den and taking him out. And yeah, not quite as interesting as Campbell Sturrock, but the mission as a whole is fucking sweet. Then it comes time to rescuing the daughter. Now, spoiler alert, the daughter has been killed. So you go in there, and Campbell Sturrock's brother is actually keeping guard on the daughter, which is kind of a cool, like, you don't need to take him out, but if you kind of want to play along with the whole story that this mission's going for, you can take him out because he's probably actually the one that killed her. But yeah, she's kind of hung up like a slaughtered animal, and it's playing the song. What the fuck's the song? Paul Anka's "Lay Your Head on My Shoulder," "Rest Your Head on My Shoulder," and it's fucking creepy, and it already, just like I said, it starts this really dark tone for what the game's going for. So you take the daughter's arm as DNA evidence. And then you get the fuck out of there. And the rest of the game is pretty much as dark, and it's just a great way to kind of start the party, no pun intended. So I could sit and talk about the rest of the missions and contracts all day, but I do want to move on and talk more about the other games in the series. So the game that came next was Blood Money. Now, don't get me wrong, I am going to touch on Blood Money somewhat briefly, because I fucking love that game so much, but I just don't know if there's anything I can say about it that hasn't been said already. Because the thing is with Blood Money, it's probably the most famous in the series, or at least at the time it was. It really put that game into the mainstream. Not a whole lot of people I knew played Silent Assassins and Contracts, but most people who were gamers at the time had at least tried Blood Money, if they weren't already fucking playing the shit out of it. So Blood Money's fucking dope. One cool thing I'll add, actually, is in Contracts, remember how I said that Agent 47 had been shot? You actually kind of see that go down in Blood Money. At the end of the mission, Curtains Down, you take out 2 targets, and as you're walking away, when it plays the animation, you see a guy kind of cock a gun and start following 47. So you kind of put the pieces together and say, that's probably where Contract starts, because it's in the same location that 47 is in the beginning of Contracts. As well, the 2 targets he kills in Curtains Down are the 2 targets he's already eliminated at the beginning of Contracts, and at the end, you once you're healthy and the doctor's fixed up your gun wound and all that, you go and take out the third target. So I always thought that was a really cool detail that they added into Blood Money. They added in this kind of non-linear timeline. It was really fucking sweet. And then there was just a long period after Blood Money that we didn't have any more Hitman games. It was a bummer. I was playing the fuck out of those 3, and they're super replayable. They're layered like that, but you want some new content after a while. So then I heard rumblings that there was a new game coming out, Hitman Absolution, and I was fucking stoked. I went out and pre-ordered this game. I was counting down days of the calendar. At the time, it was definitely my most anticipated game ever. My expectations were very high. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about Absolution, but I fucking hate this game. I think it's a pile of crap, to be quite honest. I don't want to shit all over it, and this wasn't the purpose of this video. If you are a fan of Absolution, I'm not here to shit on you. I just really don't like that game. I think it really gets away from what the Hitman series was and what made it good. Like I said earlier, the whole idea was interesting locations, interesting people, killing them in creative ways. Where Absolution tried to do this really bad story, it was really generic and stupid. Honestly, it's been so long since I played that game, I don't even really remember what it is. All the other characters in the game are really corny and stupid. Most times in missions, you don't even have a target, and you're just kind of going from point A to point B, avoiding cops or guards and stuff. And it just turned out to be this kind of mediocre action game compared to like a great Hitman game. I've always said, if it didn't have the Hitman title on there, I probably wouldn't have played it, but I'd probably be a lot more forgiving of it. But the fact that it was a Hitman game with 47 was a bunch of BS to me, and I was really bummed out because I'm like, is that it? This is the Hitman that we've all waited so long for? And I was worried also that I was like, well, what if this is just the new future of it? What if we're not getting the OG stuff anymore? And then the new series, this new fucking Hitman series came out, and I was trepidatious at first, but I was very pleasantly surprised. So the new Hitman series is dope as fuck. Like I said, I've fucking ripped 1 and 2 already. Actually have a playthrough of 2 on my channel. Little plug for that if you want to see it. And the whole idea of this video was, in anticipation of number 3 coming out, which I'm sure number 3 is going to be awesome, because as good as those series, the new series of these Hitman games are, there's not a whole lot different that they do in these. They're pretty much this new formula that's very reminiscent of the old formula, and just new locations, new targets, what have you, which is awesome. That's what I've been saying this whole time. That's what Hitman needs to be. I do have a few complaints, though, about the new Hitman series. One thing I don't enjoy about these new Hitman games is the story that they're going for. Now, unlike Absolution, they don't put this story in the forefront. It's not that important. You could skip all the cutscenes and it wouldn't make a difference. But the story that they're going for is really like just convoluted and stupid, I think, and doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And even in 2, I think they just even got even lazier with it, and they just stopped even animating the cutscenes, and now it's just kind of these weird, like, comic book things, and it's just like, just forget about the story. We don't need the fucking story. It's not why we're playing Hitman. We're playing Hitman for the cool locations and the fucking cool kills, man. How many times do I need to say it? Anyways, another complaint I do have about the new series, though, is I think the opportunity system, not all the time, but can be really hand-holdy. Can almost kind of hand you the kills a little too much. If you think back to the old ones, the OGs, the way they did it was, I think, a lot more rewarding. You would have a map, you look at the map, and there'd be points of interest. You go to the points of interest, you find whatever was there. Maybe it was an outfit, maybe it was poison, but it was the first kind of piece in the puzzle to getting to kill this target. And you kind of have to put it together yourself, and sometimes you wouldn't do it the 100% the correct way. Sometimes it would just kind of inspire you to do something else. But like I said, it was a lot more rewarding, and it felt more free. With the opportunity system, it just kind of points you. It's like, go here, go here, go here. They're dead now. And I just think it's a little too hand-holdy. Where I know you can turn off like the map objectives and stuff, but the levels are way too big, so it's like, where the fuck am I supposed to go now? And I just think the way that they did it in the original Hitmans with the points of interest system was a much better way to go about it, and I wish it was still like that. Regardless, though, I fucking think these new Hitman games are dope as fuck. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That pretty much covers everything I just wanted to ramble on about the Hitman series. And thank you so much for listening to me and letting me kind of ramble on about some of my favorite games of all time. I'm really looking forward to Hitman 3. I think by the time this video comes out, it comes out the next day or in a couple days. I know, I'm all over the place right now. But I'm going to play that, and I'm definitely going to play it on the channel, so you guys can stay tuned, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for when I play Hitman 3. And yeah, how do you guys feel about the Hitman series? Obviously, I imagine if you're watching this video, you're a fan, or maybe you never even heard of it, and this is the first time you're hearing about it. And then if that's the case, I'm honored that I could be the one to turn you on to some of this shit. We can chat anything that like this, Hitman, whatever, in the comments below. I'll be there. And thanks again for listening, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Peace the fuck out. See you later.